Well, this is Concerning Commander Radio Show again, and we're here in Central Florida with another congressional candidate, Jose Castillo, and you're running for District 9, just a little bit south of Orlando, but part of Orlando. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm running for District 9. It's basically the theme park capital of the world, and it encompasses all of Osceola County, the southern part of Orange County, and the eastern part of Polk County. It's quite a big district.
You know, we just had our good friend Willie on, Montague, and he wants to flip a seat. You want to flip a seat. And you can do that through conservative principles. Tell us about that.
Well, you see, our current congressman is a Democrat. He's running for a third term. And clearly he has forgotten that his job is to look out for the welfare of the community that elected him into office. So, I'm a father. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. And I want her growing up in the America that our founding fathers envisioned for us, not in the America that the Democrats want for her. And, I work in the hospitality industry myself. I love my job and I love my community. And I would really miss it if I would have to go to Washington and represent my district. But I cannot sit idle seeing what Democrats are doing to our country.
You have a calling.
I do, yes, absolutely.
And what company do you work for?
I work for the Walt Disney Company.
Disney, okay. You see thousands of people on a daily basis.
I see hundreds and thousands of people on a daily basis, yearly basis. But what I've been looking at has been the people in our district. You know, the people that work in the theme parks, in the hotels, in the restaurants, in the attractions. And when I talk to them and I ask them how are they doing, they tell me that they're tired. They're working long hours, multiple jobs, just to make ends meet. And this is before COVID, right? We had a booming economy. We have the record unemployment for Hispanics, for blacks, for Americans of all colors.
Yes.
Why is it that people in our community were struggling? And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that the booming economy and Democrats keeping our border open just became a magnet for illegal immigrants coming to our community, taking our jobs and keeping wages low.
Open borders, that is no panacea. That is horrible especially now with COVID-19. Talk more about that issue on immigration.
Well, since you mentioned open borders and COVID-19, I think that a lot of people have to put this in perspective. You know, perhaps before COVID-19, people were employed and illegal immigration may have not been top of mind for them. But this is what I want to share with people. Here in America, we do have unemployment plan. When things go south, we have an unemployment plan. It might not be perfect, but we have it. But keep in mind that in Latin America, Central America especially, I mean, granted, illegal immigrants come here from all over the world, but it's easy for illegal immigrants from Latin America to cross the border. In Latin America, some countries are still closed. Their economies are closed. And people are going to lose their jobs. And when unemployment goes up high and they have a recession, their unemployment plan is to come here to America and take our jobs. So building the wall is going to be more important than ever now after COVID-19.
Sounds like you're a strong supporter of President Trump.
Absolutely, yeah. I voted for President Trump, not just in the general election, but in the primaries as well. So absolutely.
Well, I've been looking at your card. You're strong on gun rights, border security, pro-life, America first, strong military, tax cuts, pro-constitution. What's probably your main themes, though, in your district that you want to share with the constituents here?
So, I mean, the main thing I want to work on is illegal immigration. We have to secure that because it's going to benefit so many aspects of our life. But one thing I would like to share is that, I was born in Louisiana, in New Orleans, but actually I was raised in Central America, in Honduras.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of people in our community came here looking for a hospitality career, just like I did. So that's why, I'm here in Central Florida is my home in Polk County. But growing up in another country without the protections and our freedoms and our rights afforded to us from the U.S. Constitution, it's not easy.
No.
So that's why I'm such a big supporter of the Constitution, and I want to make sure I go to Congress to protect it.
Well, we have a banner back here. It's called the Florida Republican Assembly, and I think you believe that the Republicans are the closest to constitutional governance that we can have. I have a talk about that, but the Democrats have created a mess just recently with the left and their riots. Speak about that.
I mean, you just got to look at, not just America, but if you can look at the world, like there's so many immigrants here from all over the world that have come here legally, that have escaped countries where there's communism, socialism, and they're usually always Republican. Why is that? It's because the Republican way is the way that is going to make sure that America always comes first, that we're going to protect the Constitution, and we're going to look out for individual rights and freedoms.
Yeah, yeah, but the Democrats want open borders so that they can flood the ballots with illegals, and it's a big issue here in Florida, I'm sure.
Well, it does flood the country with illegal immigrants. It takes away our jobs, but it also floods our poorest communities with drugs. So why is it that they want to keep open borders? It does just make no sense whatsoever. I know also that there's a lot of usually Democrats get a lot of support from unions, and that to me I don't understand that, because usually the unions are looking out for the American worker, and open borders, that's the complete opposite. So I've always had a hard time understanding that point of view from the unions.
Well, you immigrated legally.
Well, and I was born here. My family came here.
Your family did, and this is a key issue. But there's another issue that's looming, and it's very strong here in Trump country, and that's China. Talk about that. What would you support in Congress to limit this?
So I'll tell you this. I am a complete supporter of putting America first, right? And you hear sometimes from the left, they want to do stuff for, like, they claim they care about the environment, and they want stuff like the Green New Deal, right? I believe that policies like that are just gonna limit American enterprise, and a lot of those companies basically we're just gonna export those companies to other countries, to India, to China. I actually went to China. I was there for 1 week.
Okay.
And I live here in Florida, and I love Florida sunshine. I gotta tell you, in Beijing, not for 1 week was I able to see the sun. That's because of all the pollution in China. So sometimes these politicians, they think that the rest of the world cares about the environment. I think we're the country that cares the most about the environment, and our free market, our competition, allows our companies to not just make products better and cheaper, but more environmentally friendly.
About 3 minutes to go, but what are key issues right here in your district, just bordering there on Orange County and Orlando? What's one of the top issues?
Right now it's going to be unemployment, because my counties are Osceola, Polk, and Orange, and those are the 3 counties with the highest unemployment in all the state. Osceola County had 31%. That's almost 1 in 3. 1 in 3 people in my county unemployed. So we need to get people back to work. I know that we do have this COVID-19 crisis, but I believe that the government's job is to tell us what are the dangers, and then we as individuals and business owners, that's our job to protect ourselves and our families.
Now, quarantine is really for people who are sick. I mean, that's the definition almost. Well, we want you to talk more personally, with just a little more time to go. What can you tell our viewers and about your family, about your values?
So let's put it this way. I told you that my family, they're from Honduras, right? That's right. But they came here illegally. They do still have businesses in Honduras. That's why I was raised there. They're all business owners, successful. So unfortunately, the business they're in is auto parts. I got to tell you, if my car breaks down, I call AAA. I don't know anything about cars. And what I'm passionate about is, like I said, I work at Disney, making memories for everyone, making people happy. That's what I want. That's what I'm happy about. So that's why I don't work for them, and that's why I'm here. And I would miss my job if I would have to go to Congress, but we have to do it.
We do. We have to flip the House.
Yes.
Nancy Pelosi, what she has done fighting the president. We just have a few seconds left, but speak to our audience about that, because if you're able to win, if Willie Montag's able to win, it's going to be something where Trump is going to be able to get his agenda fully in place.
This is what I want to tell your audience. If you're in my district, I would be honored to have your vote. But if you're not in my district, trust me, when I go to Congress, if you're a God-fearing American, if you believe that America should come first, if you believe the Constitution is the law of the land, and if you believe that we have a right to defend ourselves, trust me, I'll go to Congress and I will be voting for you. And please visit my website, joseforflorida.com, for more information.
Say that again.
My website, if you could please